Okay, so for freehand, this is freehand this morning. And we're going to start off with a tried and true old apple. But we're going to just say, well, let me see, can you draw a hand from memory? And if you can't, you know what? I can't. Sometimes I can to varying positions. Uh, but as art plus math tells us, uh, plus science plus social studies, uh, well, if you say art plus math and you say, well, the closest kind of math to art might just be geometry because you're constantly estimating the space. Uh, you're estimating the space of a two-dimensional plane on a constant basis. The object in art is to apply that ability to be able to create the illusion. Depending on what you want. I got a lot of people saying, "Oh no, it's not about figurative artwork; it's abstract." That's the point being. Well, I'm not here to teach abstract art, but I am. I'm not here to say it's. I'm not. My intention is not to discount abstract art either. Therefore, but as far as what we're doing today, we're doing figurative, which means figurative is another word for realistic or an impression of that which exists for the purpose of creating the illusion of an object on a two-dimensional surface. I will say that in terms of art history, we have two opposing forces today that are very prevalent. One of them is Jean-Michel Basquiat, who is completely expressionistic from Brooklyn. And we have Kehinde Wiley, another artist. I've heard that I got to go. Some people need to go back into comments and please look it up and do some of the research, which has to do with, well, where is he from? I've heard that he has roots up here in Northeast, possibly Brooklyn, but I also heard that, when you get to be a certain, I guess, degree of successful, you might have it gets complicated. It's like, where's the person from? And that's the way I feel about Kehinde Wiley. I'm not quite sure if he is from Brooklyn, New York, someplace up in the Northeast. I think he is, but if someone could comment on that. But anyway, so Kehinde Wiley is completely figurative. Although, even Kehinde Wiley, it's like in the old days, you could compare, for instance, Salvador Dali versus Andy Warhol. Uh, although, or Picasso in the old days. The thing being that the point, though, that I'm making, the difference between, I'd say, Picasso and Jean-Michel Basquiat would be that if you look up early Picasso, I'm very early, 15 years old, he was doing incredibly academically brilliant figurative work. There's a painting in Madrid, uh, science and nature and medicine, something like that. The title is, somebody can look that up and put it in comments. I would appreciate it because I don't have time to do the research before getting into math, which the last thing I'll say is that the older kids, pre-calculus, you're going to do 36. You're going to learn and memorize and internalize 36 cubes all the way up to 36. And we're going to, in our heads, we're going to do 31 cubed. I don't think I'll get as far as the final step on that in our heads right now, but it'll give you an example of what calculus is, which is step by step. And the main thing is to really be able to internalize and understand math operations so well that you can, on an exam, for instance, uh, do every step. If you get the first or second or the fourth step wrong in a 20-step problem, every successive step is then wrong. So let's do 31 cubed as far as we can go. 31 cubed is the same as 31 squared times 31. 31 squared is 31 times 30 plus 31. 31 times 30 is the same as 31 times 3 plus 0, which is 93, so 930, plus 31 is 961. And then you want to do that times 31, and I'm not going to do that in my head right now. Okay, so everybody have a great rest of the Math Art Day on July 24th, Thursday, 2025. Thank you.